up and ready. So I was saying before, we took that 1 minute break. Make sure that you make any calendar your best friend. And the reason you make a calendar as your friend, you need to know if there's news that might affect a discretionary trade that you're going to take. You absolutely have to know. All right, so we're starting our natural gas streaming. So let me do this professionally. Start as if this is a brand new trade room. All right, welcome everybody to the Natural Gas Storage Report. My name is Lee Goldstein. I'm the trading director at 10-Minute Trades. Please remember, all the trades we discuss are for educational purposes. It is possible to lose money trading futures, so please trade carefully. Now, so here's an idea. Or let's look at our daily report first. I want to welcome everybody that's streaming. Usually they roll in. It takes a little time. So you can see, by making a calendar your friend, you know that Powell's talking. And Powell is going to affect many different markets. So, you know, sometimes, depending on the way that you trade, you might want to wait until Powell's done talking and trade the reaction to his comments. Some people, you know, it's definitely probably riskier to trade while he's talking, because you might get a pop and a burst, a pop and a burst. You never know. And you never know what he's going to say, et cetera, et cetera. Certainly when the Fed chairman speaks, it's going to create trading opportunities one way or another. Hang on. So due to system errors, there's a delay to the oil inventory report today. So we will not be trading, no matter what now, we will not be trading an oil inventory report at 11 a.m. So the natural gas event will be our last event of the morning. Let's look at our daily report and we'll make a decision how we're going to trade today. We're up $513 on the morning. Our morning started at 3 a.m. As you all know, most everybody's been sticking with us since our 8 o'clock trade room. So I want to thank everybody for sticking with me. Now, I do believe we're going to have a webinar tomorrow, just talking a little bit more at length about our software. I think we'll probably do it. I think we're going to do a podcast, but watch your email, because we'll send in a couple of emails, a couple of hundred emails promoting the event. Just a couple of hundred. So natural gas. Definitely has had quite a bit of volatility even before trades. I say even before trades. I should just say natural gas has had pre-report volatility more than usual over the past couple of months. I've definitely noticed that it's more than usual. Now, let's look at that daily report. So what is the daily report? So the daily report's the daily market mover. It's part of one of our subscriptions. You can just subscribe to the daily market mover. It's very reasonable. And it's our trade setup. for many of the events that we trade in the room. It doesn't mean that we don't have a daily market mover for every single event, because some events are very recent, or some events are really, it's a question of they're new, they're changed, they're events we never had a report for. I like to call them trade room trades or trade room events. And we do have quite a few of them. Earnings, for instance, are trade room events. So, but slowly but surely, we're trying to get more and more and more reports for everything that we do. It's impossible to do everything with a report. Just the nature of the market's changing and being different all the time. It's not possible. And sometimes we want to take advantage of a trend that's new that we see that didn't occur a couple of months ago. And we aren't going to take 3 months all the time for analysis. Sometimes you see a trend and you think to yourself, you know what? This might be short term, but it's working incredibly well. Let's give it a shot. So it's like, in some ways, the last report that we just traded, the way that gold moved. Let's say we go back and do our testing and we notice, because we didn't look at gold for a couple of months, that the month before gold had a tremendous move. So maybe next month in the trade room, we'll have a gold setup, but we don't have a daily report. So that's a trade room event. Natural gas storage. I'm just being very quiet here because Chantal, I don't know if you noticed, but our daily market mover has changed. Our stop's been increased to 30. Okay. And our bracket, I think our bracket went up a little bit. We were looking for, Chantal and I, maybe even a bigger bracket. And my boss doesn't always agree with our analysis. And then we have conversations and we eventually agree. I believe, Chantal, that you and I wanted a 25 tick bracket. Am I right? Or at least a 20. But we have extensively upped our natural gas bracket. We've almost doubled it. Okay. And the reason for that is we just felt that there's a good possibility of a little bit more safety. It doesn't mean I'm not going to lose on my natural gas trade today. I could definitely lose on the trade. But what we discovered is that if we use a little bit bigger stop and a bigger bracket, we felt that we had a better opportunity for safety and profit, especially based on the fact and the amount that natural gas is moving on the reports. Natural gas obviously it's related to the price of gas. It's related probably to the war, inflation as well. But the natural gas moves have been very big. And you can see it. We've had a bunch of winners in a row, 79 ticks, 178 ticks, 200 ticks. So you can see the moves are big. That's something to realize about natural gas. It can have significant slippage, so that, you could have a 50 tick target, you could have a 100 tick move, and the 50 tick target may very well be the right target. If you went for that 100 tick target, you wouldn't have come anywhere near to being filled. Okay. So we generally have a somewhat conservative approach to targets on natural gas. Now, today I'm willing to trade one contract on natural gas for a 30 tick target. So and my stop is 30, so I'm trading natural gas with a 1-to-1, 1-to-1 ratio. So we have a bracket of 15. And like I said, I'm just going to trade one contract. And I'm looking for a 30 tick target. My stop is 30. And then, so what's making me do what I do? I'll talk about that the second I'm done setting up. So it's a breakout trade. Bracket of 15. Activation is 10:29:59. So activation is entry time. That's what activation means. So activation is entry time, 10:29. It's really the definition is when do the orders show up on the chart? 10:29:59 answers that question. It's a breakout trade. That's the trade type. And I'm trading it for real. Natural gas. And that's my trade. Got my stop. My stop is 30. My target is 30. My bracket is 15. Entry time is 10:29:59. That's my setup. Okay. If you were going to trade two contracts, you could have a target of 20 and a target of 30 because you notice we have three targets. What I would do if I was trading two contracts, I would trade a target of 20 and a target of 50. Maybe a target of 70. Maybe a target of 90. Okay. But I would want to grab that first target. It's $200. Nothing wrong with that. And it might give you an opportunity to move your stop to safety also. Okay. But natural gas does have high risk. It can whipsaw, it could do very unusual behavior. It can hurt an account. It really can. But we've been seeing these good moves. So I'm going to trade one contract, looking just for 30 ticks. And then something else I'm interested, not kind of, something else I'm thinking about. So we've been looking at, let me just make sure I'm set up. Triple check it one more time. Bracket of 15. Target of 1, 30 ticks. Stop of 30. 10:29:59 and a breakout. Everything's perfect. Now, natural gas is making a new low. Generally, the oil report, the gas report, new lows, new highs, they have an effect sometimes in that sometimes a report will pop or drop to the high or the low. But just because a new high or a low is being made doesn't generally have an effect on whether or not the report moves or not. Generally, with natural gas, oil, the news moves the market. It's a general piece of information that for years, natural gas has been moving the market. Now, I would like to hear Powell. Anybody listening to Powell? So I have it on in my ear set quietly. And I don't see, I see just normal behavior right now from natural gas. I want to test my brackets. When I say I want to test my brackets, all I mean is all I'm going to do is I don't know if I can listen to the news because it makes me so angry. I can't listen to the news. Um, I'm going to test my bracket size by making my software think that the natural gas report, the time for the report is over already, and it's going to place my brackets on a simulated chart. It's just so I could make sure I'm spaced perfectly the way I want to be spaced. So that's a perfect space. So then I go back, put my time back to what it was. So I'm putting my charts back on sim. I'm putting my time back, 10:29. Charts go back to normal. Now, we've been looking at QG. QG is a micro natural gas. I'm not sure why I'm looking at it. I'm not sure how interested in it I really am. I'll tell you what I might be a little bit more interested in, but I'll tell you what. So you can trade the a micro. It's a little bit less risk because it's more ticks than one for each price. So if natural gas, I believe it's 3 ticks for one full-size tick. It's just a way to trade an index or a report with a little bit less money being put on risk. That's what the QG might allow you to do. However, we have not traded the QG live. And, it's one of our members has been looking at it, and, we're going to keep an eye on it. It seems to move. It seems to have similar moves to the full-size gas. And it just might be an opportunity, might be an index out there that someone could test and experiment with if they're interested in trading natural gas, but they want a little bit less risk than the full-size natural gas. Now, the other thing that we sometimes see with natural gas, now I'm going to go back to normal. Now, I want to check volume. Let's check our volume, make sure we're on the right chart. So market analyzer, because more natural gas, so we're going to add natural gas 8. We might still be on 7. So that's why I wanted to check the volume. So here's a problem today. Here's a problem today for me. Natural gas has mixed volume. Okay. Do you see that we're right on rollover? We are right on rollover. Natural gas has mixed volume. The volume is higher on 8, but it really rolls tomorrow. It really rolls tomorrow. Here's the truth. Here's the truth. When natural gas has mixed volume, because natural gas is a lower liquidity instrument, we have a rule that we don't trade natural gas live. That's our rule. I believe that I'm going to have to follow that rule. It's a very strict rule. Why do we have that rule? Because many times when we trade natural gas with mixed volume, first of all, what does mixed volume mean? It means that there's almost equal volume on both contracts. The current contract, which is actually NG 722, and the future contract, which is actually NG 822. And what that means is you're going to increase your chances of poor liquidity because the contracts are spread onto the volume is spread onto two different contracts. And especially because natural gas is a high risk trade, I'm here. My first goal is to teach. My second goal, which is real close, is to make money. Now, I really need to protect my account from anything that might make it harder for me to make money. You know, I'm not afraid to trade. You've watched me get up at 3 in the morning and trade live. You've watched me trade all morning. I'm certainly not afraid to trade. But I've been burned on natural gas so many times by not following the mixed volume rule. And sometimes it doesn't matter. But today, volume is pretty darn low to begin with. Also, it's quite low today. So I hate to say it, I would much rather trade, but I have to follow the rule. I have to follow the rule. In theory, we might be looking at the 7 contract because it hasn't rolled over yet. And it also creates a decision. The volume is a little bit higher on 8. This is a no-brainer for me today. It's a no trade because tremendous extra risk involved in the trade. And my goal is to teach you when to take the risk and when not to take the risk, especially on a report like natural gas. Now, look, one thing I love is when my boss changes the daily report. I love trading it because it usually means we're going to have a winner. But this is a pretty strict rule, and it really relates to account protection. That's the rule. It relates to account protection. So I've got to follow the rule and do the right thing. That's the reality of natural gas. So what I'm going to do also is reset. I'm going to put my trade in again real quickly. So I think that for today, I would be trading the current contract. The volume's almost exactly the same. The setup was a bracket of 15. Now, because I'm testing, I'll test with a first target of 20 and a second target of 50 with a stop of 30. This is the DMM. If I'm trading 2 contracts in a test, I would trade the first target of 20, the second target of 50. 10:29:59 is my breakout time. And I don't go crying in a corner because I have a rule. You know, I've already made $500 today. It's not a problem. You do what you got to do to be smart and safe. That's the way you want to trade. Smart and safe. Okay. Now, the other thing I'm interested in doing as an experiment, we've got a few minutes, is I'm going to set up a second natural gas trade. And you know what? I'll set it up on the other chart. And today I'll show you it really, when you have mixed volume, it's not going to matter which contract you trade. Their volume is so equal that it'll work. things would work on either. So I'm going to set up, though, a trade that might use signals. I haven't been doing this very much, but I want to see how the natural gas report works just with signals. So I'm going to set up a one contract trade for a 25 tick target with a 25 tick stop. And after the trade, if I have an opportunity based on what the news is, and I'll explain what I mean, I'm going to set up a squeeze play, which is a discretionary entry. One position for a 25 tick target, and I'm going to know the direction I want to go. Okay. And it's for after the news signals, preferably based on the news results. So what I mean is this. Here's what I mean. So we're expecting a piece of news on natural gas. They're expecting 65 billion cubic feet of storage. Okay. That's what they're expecting. 65 billion cubic feet of storage. I don't know if you all have been watching these idiots, politicians asking Powell the dumbest questions I have ever seen in my life. It's as if these people don't even know a thing about government at all. It's mind boggling. It's absolutely mind boggling how little they seem to know about the Fed, what the Fed's job is. It's beyond belief. It's absolutely beyond belief. How ignorant our politicians are. It's beyond comprehension. So I'm interested in whether or not we're going to get any natural gas signals, which we will, after the news. The time doesn't matter. It's after the news. At the exact moment of the report, we're going to get a move because of the release of the storage information. Okay. We're going to get storage information released. Okay. So two things are going to happen. We're going to have an event on the left side that we chose to sit it out because of mixed volume today. And it's a significant rule that has affected natural gas trades quite a bit in the past, and not always. That's the thing. It doesn't affect it always. But today it's very mixed, meaning the volume is very evenly split between NG7, which rolls over tomorrow, and NG8. So I'm electing to keep my profit from today and test the natural gas. Now, it's a good point, Mark, that you make about the NQ Open. It might have been why the NQ Open was weird, that the US Opens are cautious when there's news. And that news was really close to the Open, 9:45. It definitely might have affected the NQ Open this morning. I can't believe, what is your level of commitment to fight inflation? That's the question that they asked Powell. I'm not committed to fighting inflation. I don't care about it. I mean, give me a break. All right, we've got 45 seconds. We are going to see a move take place in natural gas. And we'll see if we can tell definitively if it would have been a good trade or not a good trade. And then we're going to see, do we have any really strong signals that might be worth taking a risk? So natural gas, you're going to see, it will move the market. It's very rare that it doesn't. Oh, now that was so fast. I do believe that would have been a nice winning trade. It is what it is, mixed volume, not mixed volume. Now, the only thing that you could say, even in sim, we got filled way down the candle. There's no guarantee you would have gotten filled high enough on that candle to hit both targets. It might have only hit one target, but I do think that would have been a nice trade. It also was so fast, it might have skipped your orders. It might have missed your orders. Now, so I would maybe be looking for a natural gas short trade, right? Let it pull back. The news was such a build. There's so much extra gas around. It should push the price down that if you get a big signal, it might be worth taking it to test a short trade. The squeeze is also on your side to the short side. Let it pull back. Let's see if it's going to pull back a little bit first. I would not take a long in this environment because there was so much of a build in the natural gas report. And it's very important to realize that what Calvin has said is true. The only definitive test on a report that's as fast as natural gas is live trading. You could have not had any of those orders filled because it was such a fast move. You could have been filled towards the bottom of the candle, maybe hit your first target, maybe not even hit your first target, believe it or not. Or it could have been that you hit all your targets also. But only way to know 100% guaranteed with natural gas, because it's so fast, is live. But I'm not ever upset. I shouldn't say that. There are times I do get upset on a decision I've made, but when I make a decision based for safety, I don't have any regrets. I just don't. Safety is number one. We walk away today with a profit. Tomorrow's another day, a whole other set of trades. So it's just, you can't ever lose any sleep over a decision you make based on safety. My breakout trade is over. So I could uncheck my natural gas breakout trade and I can remove it, okay? And it shows you, it was filled halfway down the candle, which is very far in sim. In sim, there's very little to no slippage. In real life, there's slippage, okay? So you might have gotten filled. What if you got filled down here? You wouldn't have hit your second target. You would have had to manage your way out of the trade. It would have been not a problem, though. I don't think, either you would have made money, not gotten filled, pretty straight up on this report. In sim, Calvin, of course, you make a fortune. So I'm not seeing any, there's a signal. That's my first signal. Try a short, 25 tick target. Why was I willing to risk? Because there was such a build in the inventories. Bingo, it worked. Would I do it again? Would I do it again? Making an extra 20, you got another great signal. I'm late to the party, so I'm not doing it. Not doing it. It didn't, if you notice, it didn't follow through yet. Didn't follow through. In fact, it reversed. So did we have a blowout bottom there? I don't think so. I think natural gas is going to trend down all day because of the news. That's my gut feeling, or for a couple hours. So I would be done. personally, if I had an extra discretionary trade that gave me $250 from a signal, I would be done. It's 4 minutes after the report. I would think you could probably take signal. It was very slow giving signals today. So I would take that one signal and I would take it to the bank, but this is another possible thinking about how we might want to trade natural gas reports. It may very well be quite viable to take a signal after the report when you have an agreeable news result like we did today, where the news was a very large build that would help to push the price down. Okay, so that's the way to think about taking these kinds of discretionary trades. All right, folks, we've been in the room. I want to thank everybody on YouTube for watching us. Really appreciate it. If you sign up for our channel, hit the like button on your way out. It would be nice. And sign up for our channel so you know the next time we're going to be streaming. And I want to just go over the